This is gross.
We're here. We're live. We're here coming to you live from the W. Wobbeson Memorial Caddick to share our love of podcasting with you. Dominique, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's great to hear. I want to talk to you today about what was the movie we just watched with all the British people?
Devil All the Time?
Is it The Devil? The Devil All the Time?
The Devil's Always in Us? Something.
The devil,
hold on, I'll look it up.
The devil likes things to happen.
Yeah, what were your thoughts?
Often. I liked the movie, but it was also there was a sneaking suspicion I had. Hi, Chloe. That that there may have been some hammy acting happening, and I was right. Can you guess who I think was not the greatest actor in that? So, okay, immediately
The Devil All the Time.
The Devil All the Time.
Netflix.
Weird, yeah. I think it's a Netflix original, right?
It is. Yeah.
So it has nothing but British people doing Southern accents,
which is so great.
which is tough. Most of them pretty much nail it. I feel like the kid who is Spider-Man. Okay, so I want to make sure I get this right. It was Spider-Man. It was It.
Yeah,
right?
But he's not British, but yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
His name's Skarsgård.
Yeah, but they're not British. They're like Swedish.
Close enough.
But they're not British. But he's I'm.
Yeah.
I don't know 100%, but
He's
I'm
not
pretty
American.
sure he's American. No.
Is he? Bill Skarsgård, right?
Yeah, it's Bill Skarsgård, the
Bill-
youngest.
But is he related to Thor?
No, Thor is Australian.
Okay, but what's his name? I thought it was a Skarsgård. He's
no,
not a Skarsgård?
he's not a Skarsgård. He's,
Who are the Skarsgårds?
Liam
Hemsworth.
They're the Hemsworths.
There's another bro. These are...
But they're Australian. They're not British.
Okay.
Just saying.
Just slowed down British. What is the... So Bill Skarsgård is Swedish or Nordic of some...
Nordic, yeah. Some kind of... and his brother was Eric.
But he's not Southern.
No.
Right. And okay, so it's him, right? So
Yes.
it's Bill Skarsgård, Spider-Man,
The new Spider-Man.
the newest Spider-Man, the little boy Spider-Man, and Edward and Vampire Boy.
Yes. Robert
Right?
Pattinson.
Guess which one of them did not have a dialect coach? Wanted to do it all on his own. Robert Pattinson.
He does most of his movies in American accent, so that's probably
No,
why.
he doesn't. He thinks he does.
Well,
what he does them in is quiet, whispery
Yes.
voice.
Yeah,
That's all
but
he
this
does.
wasn't quiet whispery. This was
Bad.
praise God.
No, it was Dollar Store Elvis done by a British guy all by himself in his house. He literally, so I actually, there was a thing on Instagram that said, you know, it was like film reels or something like that. It was when I was searching, and it said like, in the movie Devil All the Time, multiple actors are using Southern accents or whatever would send like an example of what they were working on for their accent for their character to the director, and say like, is this cool or whatever.
Right.
Robert Pattinson did no work with a dialect coach, no work with any other professional as far as Southern accents, all by himself, and didn't reveal it to anybody until the first day he was shooting. That's bad. That's almost as bad as his French accent in that other movie. He commits 100. He commits to the level of shy. Did I like? What happened to you?
Nothing. I'm listening to what you're saying. Nothing.
He takes like a Shia LaBeouf level of like dedication, but like without the follow through of it.
Yeah.
I don't believe like he felt like the whole time like he was like, because as soon as I would get into it, he would go like, "Now come on, like that, like kind of thing." But I didn't buy it.
Yeah. I can see that.
The Spider-Man boy, I liked his accent, but it was just Spider-Man with a little bit of a Southern twang. You know,
I
he's
think
like that. Gee whiz, I'm sorry,
I
Mr.
think with, and I'm not making excuses. I don't know. I didn't watch what you watched with what they did or whatever. But in my opinion, because I thought it was so funny, I was like, these are all fucking British actors.
Not Bill
Like,
Skarsgård.
well, not Bill, but like the majority of them. That Dudley, the cousin,
Were any of the broads?
he was in it.
Were any of the ladies?
I'm not familiar with them, so
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure, but majority of the males. So I thought that was super interesting, and Southern accents, and I thought maybe that was an easy transition from a British accent. Not that Southern and British are similar, but like you can kind of twang it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so
That's what I felt
could
like Robert
see-
Pattinson did. Like,
right.
He
Like
just,
he was probably like, you know what? I got this. I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I can use my own accent to leverage.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know his thought process. It didn't take me out of it at all.
No. He was the only one that took me out of it.
Yeah, it didn't.
He was the only
didn't
one
take
that
me
every
out of
once
it.
in a while, like when he would talk, I'm just like, come on, man, you're just doing like a high pitched Elvis.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
He was all over the road with his accent, whereas everybody else was, whether it was good or bad,
Right.
was consistent. So I just stopped thinking about it after a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of them, I think a lot of what British people do when they do Southern accents, like British actors and stuff,
Like
do,
American
they
Southern.
just grit their teeth and they talk
Yeah.
like this. This
Yeah.
is how to.
Yeah, that's why.
And it's
I felt like I don't know. You could kind of get away with it without a coach. I could see why you
not
would.
the character he was doing though. The character he was doing, he should have had somebody because he was close. Like I think if somebody was working with him, and I don't know if that's an ego thing or I think they literally said it was like just a clip of his acting, and then the paragraph was the explanation of what it was, and like he was very self-conscious about it. But like I feel like if you're super self-conscious about that, then you're not really truly being an artist.
So much work with Twilight that like he
For what?
because that was his
Researching
first,
vampires?
No, the American accent, because that was his first movie
Yeah.
in the States, and he worked so hard and had a lot of help. So maybe he just and he's pretty much done all American. I mean, I don't know all of his work, but he's done a lot of American movies, so he probably felt like, you know,
There was the one where he played
I
either
can do this.
king or prince or something of France or something. He was the king of France.
Mm-hmm. That movie was so good.
That's what I'm saying. Is you don't like him for his talents because
I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Because his French accent was his Southern accent. Essentially, it was just high. It's a weird thing. When he does these, I don't know if he had a dialect coach for that either.
I don't know.
I would bet money not. But they just go high pitched. He just goes high pitched and over exaggerated. Like it seemed like he was making.
Well, it's
fun
good
of.
enough for the director. The director could say, "I need you to stop. We need to stop, and you need to go get a coach because this is not working."
Yeah, maybe.
Like I would assume that the director is like, you know what? That's not really the accent I'm going for. I need a little more authentic or what, you know, like.
I thought.
So I would put it also on the director. If that's not what you were looking for, then you need to.
Yeah, I'm sure what it was.
Step in and say something.
Yeah, but so you're.
I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you're the director of a movie. The script's been written, the shots have been blocked out, like they figure out the schedule of what they want to do, when they want to shoot, what days, and everything like that. And then you find out one of your co-stars or one of your supporting actors in the movie has done no professional work for dialect. Do you think it would be as simple to say, hey, why don't we just whip up a dialect coach for you?
I would be like, somebody come on set.
That would set production back so far. Like, you can't just say...
but that's also, I don't know. I don't make movies. I don't direct. I would think that if that's something, for one, when you're auditioning for that role, you choose that person for that role.
Right.
You need to do the work to be like, hey, I think your acting would be perfect for this. I need you to work on this accent. This accent is super important to me. And, you know, whatever. You gotta.
Yeah.
It's got to be authentic.
I will admit that I also don't know how movies work, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't work with the director calling the actor and going, hey, this accent is really important to me. I think they go like, they have their person call their person, say, would you like this role? and they say, you're Robert Pattinson, you're a great, huge name.
Yeah, I don't know if he has to audition.
We're not going to make you audition
right.
for this.
I don't.
We want you for the role.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
But that's
but
because
then
we
saying,
trust
hey,
your performance. If, let's say, on all these other movies, he has worked with a dialect coach, and you say,
right.
okay, yeah, I'm not going to make sure that he knows that this accent is
right.
super important, because maybe he's like, I trust that he's going to do the work. But once he starts not sending in things, I would get worried.
Yeah, I would then be like, hey, what, like,
but
this is, you have to check in. You can't just say, day one, here, you've got the role, and now all of my you have to say your expectations of what I need from you
but arguably,
to deliver.
Wouldn't you say he's the biggest name in the movie?
I don't know.
We weren't even sure of Bill Skarsgård's nationality. I
know he's not British, but I might have to say Skarsgård is bigger now.
AKA, not sure what it is what you're doing right now. That's what I'm saying. You're not sure what it is.
But I know who he is.
That sounded so funny. I know who he is.
I would say arguably, I don't know if that Skarsgård was a bigger name because it is more popular right now, where Robert Pattinson, the biggest thing he's in right now is Batman, but that's not even out yet.
Yeah, but
Twilight is the biggest thing that he would have done, which was 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago.
Yeah, but it's still discussed in the same name as like a Harry Potter or a Lord of the Rings or
yes, right. But yeah, you're right. Like you would assume if that's something that's important to you, you need to make sure it's said and like, hey, I need you to work on an accent. I need this to be as authentic as possible. Yeah. And if you're like, hey, I trust you, that's on you. But again, I wasn't. It didn't take me out of it. Nobody's accent took me out of anything. I thought they all did a really good job.
Every time, because there's a thing with movies. There's something about a movie that is able to just grab you from the beginning, and I feel like this reminded me a lot of a Quentin Tarantino movie, and it reminded me a lot of. It's like Quentin Tarantino mixed with, because actually I don't even see that. Do you have Netflix on your phone?
Yeah.
Can you look up to see how long it was?
It was like 2 hours and 4 minutes.
It felt like it was 4 hours for me. It felt like the longest movie that I've ever watched in my life.
No, I don't. No, don't want to do that.
Does it say runtime?
2 hours 18 minutes.
2 hours 18 minutes. It honestly felt like 3 hours. It felt like a long Scorsese movie.
Yes.
But he had it was so the best way to explain The Devil All the Time, aside from questionable accents to certain persons involved, or that watched, not even involved, I had nothing to do with it, is Quentin Tarantino meets Marty Scorsese. I call him Marty, I know him. And it's just like they grab you immediately with the World War II aspect of it.
Yep.
The stories told in it seem to not connect, but at the same time are connecting the whole time. Like it's a really
honestly, what it boils down to is listen to your mother. She knows what's best.
Hold on, what?
That was the first thing where she was like,
No. He would have. If he would have married that ugly ass hoe, and then he would have.
It would have pleased God because she prayed to God that bring my son back from the war, and I will make sure this happens. That didn't happen. Shit went straight to the shitter almost immediately.
Yeah, but she had a hefty part of that too.
She did.
You know what I mean? Either way, it's a very interesting movie.
I really enjoyed it.
The only reason I think it loses points is because of the accents that were just like would take me out of it every once in a while. I would go, that's Robert Pattinson doing a Southern character poorly.
Yeah, but that's the thing that also sucks with.
I
like
would rather
not typecasting, but like when you know a character and you know them in a certain way.
But I've never
seen he's not Southern American or whatever.
But I've never. It was like seeing an American doing a shitty American.
Yeah,
accent,
you know who does a really bad American accent?
Huh.
Not Emma Watson. From Harry Potter.
Emma Watson.
Is it Watson?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Emma Stone. It's Emma Watson. Emma Stone. I always do that. It is Emma Watson.
I don't know. Either way. Hermione?
Hermione.
Okay.
She does not do a good English accent or American. Rather.
I mean, there's still an aspect like it's professionalism, I guess, is what it comes down to, and it's not like it's not even professional.
I guess my thing is you don't like. I guess that's where I go. I can't say that's professionalism because I didn't hear the director say this was my expectation. He did not meet my expectation.
No,
that was.
I'm just saying that you're not doing like even if you've done it a million like fighters fight. They can have upwards of like 60 plus fights, and if they get another fight, they train for that fight too.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's you realize the subtleties so that if you're accepting this role, it's a fucking good movie. I would want to be the best me I could be, so I would take as much training and not be a little bitch that's like, I don't want people to make fun of my accent. So you're gonna just perform. You're just swinging for the fences with this accent, and then it was kind of like, it was the only part. It would be the only thing that would take points off of this movie that I thought was like perfect. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah,
like it's what I wished. Like I liked Knives Out, but
yeah,
it's
I
kind of
it too.
it's like this
it's a little
is
more campy.
This is a way better version of like for as many people that were shitting themselves over fucking Knives Out, which I thought was good, just like Bridesmaid or anything. It's nothing different. It's nothing. This is the same thing. This is a thing that I think is a little bit different and a little bit like the storytelling in it was so much cooler. I feel like. You know what I mean?
Each character had a lot to bring.
and
there were a lot.
At no point was I bored. Like no point of the movie was I like not interested or not bored or anything. Like, and that takes a lot because we've been watching a lot of stuff lately. Because obviously we still are. I don't know.
We don't really go out.
I don't know if anybody's heard out there. It's a pandemic. It's really bad, apparently. Yep. Not the best, but it would be us picking. So we pick for new stuff. We pick classic stuff. Like recently, we watched. What's the show? Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, that's really good. I like it.
I believe you. But I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I don't either.
So what are you talking about?
I'm on the ride. Just take me where you want to take me. I don't give a fuck. I'm here. I'm present. I'm watching. I think the acting is fantastic.
Yes.
I like it's. I like that I don't know. The only thing that I do grasp from it is Adam and Eve. Like Adam.
Yeah, they say that a bunch of times.
It's like it's trying to get back to a pure state. Like we need to take the perfect people need to come back.
It's kind of like all right.
But the thing is, what Lovecraft Country. I have no idea what that
I
is.
know who HP. I know.
Yeah, I don't
a little
know
bit
what
about.
that
I don't.
is.
But that's the thing. I don't know because it's a literary thing.
Right.
It's books. I don't fucking know.
Well,
books.
yeah. I guess it's like it's story. He has a bunch of stories. I don't know. I have no idea. But
see, that's what I'm saying. Is
I just go with it.
I think I'll probably rewatch the series because so far
you'll get more out of it the second time around for sure.
Because there's no what seems to be no rhyme or reason to it, but the actual like show that I'm watching, I like because it reminds me of like The Mummy or Indiana Jones or something like that. Yeah. Where it's like if Indiana Jones was a show, which it was at one point, but better and black.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it does go against the stereotype that I've heard all my life from black people themselves is black people won't be going up in there.
They up in there
the whole time. Like the whole time. Every time they're go like, oh my God, that floor looks like it's about to fall. Like where?
Let's get on it.
Yeah, they're like, let's go that way, right into danger. Every time. And from what I've heard, from my experience, whether it be comedy bits and or just observations made by, I believe, every single black person I've come in contact with is, why is that bitch going in that room? Why is that bitch going into danger?
Yeah.
Why is that motherfucker, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be. So, like, this definitely goes up against that, but I can see I can see, like the empowering thing. You can see yourself
Right.
represented in media and stuff like that. But I am also like, is this accurate? Have black people been feeling the need to do crazy, stupid shit like white people this whole time, and just haven't felt comfortable portraying it? Or
Nobody's written it.
nobody's written it.
That's it.
Because black people are like, because that's the funniest thing.
Because it's
not the funniest thing, but the through line thing is like, the ultimate villain in the show still is like, they're still like, oh yeah, there's flying monsters, but then also racism.
Yeah.
They're
and
like,
what is scarier? And that is like, do you want to deal with this extremely racist sheriff? Or there's a fucking monster out there.
Yeah.
Like, which is worse? That's a crazy thought to have.
There's literally a scene where they are running from like creatures, alien creatures, and they also have to survive the police as well.
Right.
Like they're like, the police are like,
there's these monsters, and the black guy has a gun, and the white guy's uncomfortable, and it's like, who gives a fuck right now? There's like this
you see
thing,
the bloodthirsty creature things?
He's gonna eat both of us.
Yeah.
So you don't have arms. I'm gonna hold the gun. I don't know if that was actually the thing, but like, it was just kind of, it was stupid. Like, get over yourself, dude.
Yeah, they're like,
we're all in danger here
because like the whole time, like
we're human. We're human. That thing is other human.
things that you would think at, even in the moment, would unify them. Like, because
it still doesn't.
Because you're like,
they're so fucking racist.
I absolutely believe racism has existed and still exists.
Oh, yes.
100%.
100.
And that police officers, there are racist police officers as well as not racist police officers. But I do believe that when this show is being portrayed, the time period at least.
Is it 20s?
No, it's the 40s. He
Oh,
fought in World War II.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Most of the shows we're watching right now are based in the 40s right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Devil All the Time was 40s.
Yeah.
Ratchet is fucking 40s.
Yep.
By the way, I saw the year that they actually are in is 47. I saw it on a piece of paper last episode.
Cool.
But each one of them are in the 40s. So you have to deal with that, but also they go like, I believe that, I forgot the point that I was trying to make. God damn it. The point is like you would think that even in those, I believe that racism existed back then and it still exists.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if I would truly believe if there was a KKK rally and then they were like, they had a black guy there and then like dragons came in and started attacking them, I don't think they'd be like, oh no, but hold on a second. All right, now go. Like, I think they would just be like, holy shit, dragons. Like, but I don't know for sure. And there's no way.
And I think that's kind of in the realistic sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm sure, but yeah, that would happen. He wouldn't, if he fell down, he wouldn't necessarily probably go pick him up.
He wouldn't help him up.
Right,
He wouldn't stop.
But
what
I
he was
think
doing
it's that perspective.
Yeah.
It's really just
it
driving
adds a whole nother layer. Yeah,
it's driving that home of that, like,
it's like in those stories where
racism is so bad that it's equal to these monsters.
Right.
Like that, like it's really that kind of that storyline of it's bad.
Yeah. I would still think the authority figure aspect of it would come in of like, like there's always been a sense of that in one way or another of like, we have to deal with, but never to that extent of like, you still don't fucking, we're still not working on the same team.
Yeah.
Like even right now, we can't just
now.
be cool right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like it's just like, it adds that whole other layer of
and
tension.
Even they, like the sheriff even bossed him around in the cabin, like, you move that there, and like, like it was just.
And you're like, man, even right now, there's still
like,
not a, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Wow.
But but that's a story, and that's a show that I feel like is super, it's entertaining, and I think it's just me either missing a huge plot point somewhere.
No, I think it is gonna at the end of it. I think it'll probably come together because I can see pieces kind of starting to, with the solar system thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a bloodline in here. Like like I said, I don't really know what's happening, but I'm totally fine with it. Like, it's so good, and I'm so intrigued and like want to know what's happening that I'm on for the ride.
I'm
like,
interested to find out
good.
how this ends, but I'm also like I'm also in the sense of like
what's happening.
Yeah, if you ask me, are you watching it right now? I go, yeah. I'm very confused. I have no idea what to, because
that's my favorite. Like, that's my favorite stuff to watch. And I know it annoys people where like Mother, you had to like, I looked it up and read about it and like what that was about. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, right. Hereditary.
What was Hereditary? Why did you have to look that up? What was that?
I don't know. There was just things that I wanted to dive deeper. Like, I felt like it was more than you got out of it. I don't know. I just felt like there was a lot of like layers to it. And then the same thing with Midsummer. I looked that up and like
it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but there was still more psychological stuff. I just like the psychological aspect of things.
Yeah.
So I think that, and not so much with Lovecraft, like it's not quite there. It's not like super psychological, but I like those things that I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I'm here for it. Like, just take me where you want to take me. I'm open-minded. Let's go. And then if I don't understand it, if I'm like, what did I just watch? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Then I look it up and I enjoy that. But a lot of people are frustrated with that. They don't like it.
Oh, with Lovecraft?
No. Just those types of movies. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
I love them.
To me, it just gets so...
Eternal Sunshine for a Spotless Mind.
I never seen it.
So good. I love that movie. And that's one that you watch multiple times and you get more and more out of it.
Maybe.
I love that movie.
I mean, I just... It comes down to if I want it to be confusing, like I like there's interpretations by the director, there's intention, there's,
and I guess that's it. It's like, what was your intention? This is how I interpreted that movie.
But I feel
this
like
is what I took from it. But what was your message? Like, what inspired you to write this? Or
but if you can convey it so little or like so poorly, at least like. That's the thing, is it's on you to convey your art. Like you need to send your message to me, but it also needs.
But it's also, why not have not a debate, but a conversation? Like, it leads to conversation, and I enjoy that. I enjoy watching a movie with you and then talking about it for 2 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I took, this is what I got from that. This is how I took that.
Yeah, I guess that makes more of a point towards like not being able to not knowing something and still enjoying it, because I have done that before.
Yeah.
Where like I was like I like this, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
And
that was I felt like that for Annihilation too. It was just kind of like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, but that wasn't that confusing.
Like the end was for me, not the ending, but when she was in the lighthouse and it was like, well, who was that? What was that? It was an alien?
Yeah. It's the
So it just mimicked her?
Well, I mean, if you want to,
she choked because that was
giving the whole ending away to Annihilation, but that's exactly what it is, because that's what they're. I mean, you're looking for something, like, you're looking past the answer for the answer. Like, the answer is what's happening directly in front of your face. They're giving you everything. They're showing you what it's been doing the entire time.
So just mimicking, and then you're fighting it yourself. Because that was the thing, was what I got from, like, the last time that I watched, when they were fighting and she was pushing against it, it was like, so if she had just given up, it would just stop.
Right.
Like, that's kind of like, but she was fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and it was just mimicking her.
Right.
It was just doing what she was doing. So she was killing herself, essentially.
Right.
And then she stopped, but it was still part of her because, the end.
Yeah. Yeah, the end that you're still, that's the thing, is it's.
Yeah. But I didn't get that the first time I watched it.
Yeah, it's what you're watching the entire time. You're watching the whole movie is what it's doing at the end. You get to see the process of how it did. Like, you see what happened to her husband. You get to see what happens to her. You get to see, like, they don't hide. There's no real nuance in that except for the fact that they're like, this is happening, but what is really happening? And then they show you at the end what's been happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's if you think about, like, the coronavirus or any other virus or any other disease or anything, like, it needs a host. So instead of it hosting, being here or whatever, like, it's already gotten its way into the ecosystem and all the plants and trees and all that stuff.
Right.
Then now it's in people.
Yeah.
So, like, it just needs a host. Like, that's all. Like, it's,
okay.
There's so many things that like that I hate it when movies obviously have answers, but they're just not telling you. To me, like, that's what Inception is. At the end of Inception, they're like, is he Inception or is he not Inception?
Yeah.
And it's like, tell us. Just tell us what it is. It's not fun to not know. It's not fun to not know because you just have an unfinished story. You know what I mean? Like, there's satisfaction in a
it's
story
kind of like
being
the books
concluded.
that it's based off your decision making. So there's multiple endings.
Yeah.
Like, if you go this way, it's this or that. Like, I don't know. I think that's
like, to me, like, there's when you have, like, say The Sixth Sense ended, and you didn't know if the kids saw dead people or not. Like, that's a huge thing. That's an answer. You're giving us an answer to all the strange things that have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's what satisfies us. At the end of Inception, if they're like, so you just wasted our time for 2.5 hours?
Yeah. So
at the end of it, we're in the exact same spot we were at the beginning.
Yeah.
Neat. I don't like that. That's shitty.
I thought you liked Inception.
No, fuck no. Inception is a fucking special effects jerk-off nightmare. Like, they're bending buildings. What the fuck are you talking about, bending buildings? I like when people think outside the box. Don't get me wrong. I love a nice... Mm-hmm. But you have to make it make a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
And when you have the nonsense, or you just kick him, and then you kick him, and then you make a bomb over there, and then he kicks him out of that dream, and then he's in another layer of dreams, it's not fun to try to figure that out. Because you are not... You're
know
just...
what I get really frustrated with?
If I drew this, like if I just said, like, here's a puzzle. That's not a puzzle. I just drew a scribbly line. And if I call that art, it's still not art. You know what I mean? There's a lot of emotion in this.
Yeah.
I call this one Inception.
Yeah.
But there's no point to that.
Yeah. Time travel is what really aggravates me.
Yeah, that's another one.
Time travel movies and shows like Umbrella Academy, everybody is like goo goo gaga. And the first season was good. It took me 3 months to watch it. Like, I would watch a couple episodes at a time. It wasn't this. Yeah. I wasn't super into it. But then, so I started watching the second season, and it's all time travel. And I'm like, I do not like this. Yeah, like, I get so...
It's too open-ended that you can really fuck yourself up and fuck your own story up.
Yeah.
You're like, you're
that's
like,
true.
What?
What is happening? Wait.
Yeah. Like,
it's frustrating. I don't like...
And a lot of times in time travel stories or storylines or movies, it doesn't fucking matter. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen all the jerk-off fucking Avenger movies. But, like, that's another one where they're like, oh, you have the time stone. So everything that happened in the last movie doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Now nothing happened. Now, at the end of everything, we've had 270,000 fucking Marvel movies. We've had this many amusement parks, and we have this many storylines, and this many crossovers, and this many things. And really, at the end of it, one character died. 2 characters died, actually. That's it. Yeah. And one that was kind of introduced like 6 movies in. Why in the fuck would I give a shit about that? Why the fuck would I care about that story? So, men that don't exist put masks on and armor and then fight spaceman, and then in the end, they never did it. In the end, they never did it. They all went back in time, and then everybody just lived their own life and never met. Neat. Cool. So you just woke up at the end of a dream? In my personal opinion, Inception is a dog shit waste of time movie. I know that it's the same thing as I always call it Pandora. Avatar. You just didn't do anything. You didn't do anything.
Avatar was entertaining. Like I liked it.
No,
it was fine.
It's just fast and bright.
Yeah,
you know, that's what people like. Yeah, people. When I go to Marvel movies, I go to it in the mindset of like I'm going on a really shitty theme park ride, and that's that way. It's like this is great. This is a great shitty theme park ride, but it's really just sitting there and going around in circles.
Yeah,
they're not going to lose. I'll just spoiler alert. Let me just spoil every single superhero movie from now on. They will never lose. There's the ending. I just spoiled the ending to every superhero movie. They'll never ever lose. They'll always win. And like every 6 movies, one character that you kind of care about or maybe cared a lot about dies.
That was the thing that I really valued with Harry Potter is that she did kill off lot
and
of
kept them dead.
Yeah,
right.
Like a lot of characters.
So much so that at the end, when they killed Harry Potter, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I thought
you know
he was
what I mean?
dead.
Yeah, so like great storytelling from a bigot, from a terrible bigot, a hateful person.
But that was like, and
I don't mean that, by the way.
I was actually talking to a psychiatrist, and we were talking about whatever. Yeah, Harry Potter got brought up.
Yeah.
But I was telling her about just essentially my story, and I was disfellowshipped from my family, couldn't speak to my family, and the thing that really helped me through that was Harry Potter. And I was like, it was crazy. I was 21 years old. I'd never watched the movies. So like I was like a kid, reading it. And she was like, yeah, that book, it's so great, especially for children, because there's so many great life lessons in there, and death is one of them. And just, it's such a hard thing to talk about with a child and like have them rationalize it but not be scared of it.
Yeah.
But you really need to kind of normalize it. If you don't talk about it, then it can be very traumatic because you never know when somebody is going to die.
Right.
So it's important to like have those conversations, but in a way that they can understand and they're not scared and like whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I think that was something with Harry Potter, but then also Disney movies. Because if you think of Disney movies, again, they're all not all, but there's orphans. Like they go through a traumatic thing and they have to overcome that. Yeah. And that's important, for kids. Like bad things happen. Like that's life. And you have to keep going and you have to, And for someone like me, like you dealt with a lot of death and a lot of a lot of things in your childhood. I did too, but it was different. Like, so then when I was 22 and I had my first death in the family, I was a hot mess.
Right. And that's, it helps you. So it doesn't help you with death.
Well, it did. I mean, but the problem was I was 21. So I already had this like idea of death, but not really. It was just like you go to sleep and then you'll be resurrected. Yeah,
which is cute because that doesn't happen.
Right. Like, so it so I've already had my idea of death and how afraid of it or not, it was already in my head. But if you, the age range is like 11 or 12 is when the books start. So, I mean, we have friends that he's 5 and he's read the books, and I remember when she was getting to his mom, they were like, oh, we're going to the 3rd book, and I was like, kind of like gets dark there on the 3rd book. And he was fine, he was good with it, like he wasn't scared of it, and I was just, and obviously every kid's different, but for me, when I remember reading that, being like, I think I would be scared. Yeah. If I was a kid reading this, at the ages that would be appropriate for it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't.
A little scary.
I didn't read a lot, obviously, but I definitely was. We've talked about it before about watching movies that weren't
Appropriate.
But I definitely, you're still able to get some value from those.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about that with like Cobra Kai and shit like that.
Yeah.
How about if
but
you
it's
watch
watching
the Karate
those
Kid?
kids, like it's watching those inappropriate movies, age-wise. Like it may be knowing your kid, but then being present to explain it to them.
Right.
You know, like I think there's lessons to be learned in those things, and like there's a lot of value for you and the things that you watched.
Right. Yeah, I
that
think,
helped you.
Yeah, I would think so. I would hope so, because
I see it that way.
there's definite value in media or art helping to shape personalities.
Right.
But I think if you rely on them fully to do that,
Right.
it's one thing. But
Yeah, yeah.
but they can definitely help you cope or
Use it as an aid.
understand. Yeah.
You know, like if your kid's going through something, watch a movie with them.
And not just like
Ask them questions. Hey, what did you think of that?
it's way easier to help kids along with those things when it's something that they're already interested in.
Yeah.
So like if they're interested in if they know like Harry Potter's cool, they like magic or whatever, you can trick them into watching these like good stories or good examples of like
right.
of that or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So parenting tips from people who don't have kids. You're welcome.
Well, no. So that I have to say, when I talk about it, I talk about it from my own experience. So if my parent had this conversation,
we talked about that
or approached it in this way, I think that would have been helpful for me as a kid. I'm speaking from my own experience as a child to now, where I'm like, oh, I would have liked this. For the person that I am, this would have been beneficial to me. So I'm not telling anybody how to parent. We don't have kids.
I am.
But I just, in my own experience, from my own personal experience, this is what I think would have been helpful for me. And if we do have kids, that's
Willy Wonka too. We were talking about that, making them watch Willy Wonka. Like those things, like not make them, but like say like, here, watch this. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I think that same way, like how you were talking about like watching something together and then talking about it.
Yeah.
Is like, why not do that with even like your kids? Like, so what did you think about that? What about this part? What was like? What
I think it's super important to be curious, and especially with children. Like, and you can learn because there's no filter with them. Mm-hmm. So ask them a question. They're going to tell you exactly what's on their mind. Right. They'll say like X, Y, and Z. And then you go, oh, that's interesting. And you kind of learn how their mind works. And then you can help them navigate life. Like, this is who they are. And let's give them the tools to be able to achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah. It's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's rational.
Yeah. But it's always good to be curious and ask questions, even, outside of parenting and all relationships.
That's a great segue. It's always good to ask questions. Like, did you pick one for this, or are you just going to do the other one?
I can do the other one.
All right.
So, if you were to be granted one wish, what would it be?
That's the first question.
That's
crazy.
Do you think it should be the last question?
I don't know. That just seems like such a weird, kind of open-ended. I would think that you would want to like hook people with something like, if you have any wish, what would it be? So do I have to say like, okay, I wish for something now, or like I hope that I can wish for this? Like what would you wish for? Like it's essentially just saying like, if you could have anything, wish for anything in the world to happen, what would it be? Like what?
Yeah, it's pretty.
No more new normal. How about that? How about just back to the regular normal? Not even the regular normal.
Honestly,
I would like to springboard past this normal into the next regular normal.
Right. The work that's happening now, what is that going to lead us to?
Right.
Because I think there are good things coming. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll see it in our lifetime, but I do feel a shift in things.
Yeah.
But I do think that does happen every generation. Mm-hmm. Like, we get smarter. We learn things. Some of us do. and things change. It's a cycle, of evolution. So I definitely think there's going to be change. I think for me, which it kind of is in that same vein, is just that people will be more considerate.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really, really wish that people didn't fly off the handle. And that was something that I started to change with me, because we did record an episode a while ago that never went out, and I think it was because it felt like us just venting. Like, there was a lot of family stuff going on at that point, and like it was just, it felt, I don't know, it felt good to get it all off our chest, but we
it's
never,
kind of like writing that email and never sending it.
Yeah, it felt good, but it just, I don't know, I don't think it would have benefited, and you know what I mean, like, it wouldn't have,
there's no help, there's no good to come from it.
Right. So, but like, from that point, during that time, it was like, I need to educate, or I need to, I don't know, whatever I felt. But then looking back, it's like, you know what, I don't want to be the left that is, I guess, practice what I preach. That's it. Like, where I was so upset, and I'm like, you aren't listening to me. Like, you're not listening to my message, or like, you don't know me. I thought you knew me, but I'm being attacked for what I'm saying. But what I'm saying benefits everybody. So, like, I don't know, it just felt, it felt wrong. So I didn't want to be a hypocrite. So I kind of took a back seat of just like, you know what? I'm going to practice what I preach. Mm-hmm. I can't control what they have every right to feel the way that they feel because of their experiences. And I'm not going to associate with them. Mm-hmm. Like, it was eye-opening to be like, oh, okay, I know where I stand with you, and your values or your morals do not align with mine, so I'm not going to continue a relationship with you, even though we didn't really even have a relationship to begin with.
Right.
But what it all boils down to is just being considerate of each other. So we can have a difference of opinion, but we can still be kind to each other.
Right.
Like, I can still listen to what you have to say and not attack you for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel that I was getting that same respect. And so that's why I was like lashing out as well. But now I'm just, I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm just going to do the things that I
think the people that can't back up whatever their opinion may or may not be, or what they think their opinion may or may not be. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people that have to shout other people down are people that don't really believe in their point.
Right.
I think the louder you have to say it, the louder, and that's something that I honestly believe. I feel like, because everything that I truly believe, I may get worked up over, like, especially when like customer service things or like just general.
Again,
like,
it's being considerate. That's
it's
why it's so right. It's so infuriating.
I am never asking for special treatment or extra, like anything else. I'm not asking for any kind of, like,
I'm not saying bend the rules for me.
You don't have to treat me differently, but you don't have to respect me. Like, that's one thing. Respect is earned, not given. Yeah. But it's one of those things that, like, it's also, there's a level of human respect or human common decency with other people, and that is not subjective. No. That is not my perspective. There is eye contact, making smile, like, say hello to other people. Like, there's social contract shit for sure, but like, nothing's actually law. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I feel like those do unto others, don't treat people the way you would like to be treated, yada yada. All those sayings are not just fucking T-shirts, not just sayings, not just whatever. It's a good way to live.
Right.
It's a really, because honestly, if like, you're fine with people treating you like a piece of shit, go for it. Then treat people like pieces of shit. But like that, but don't treat people like shit or with disrespect, and then get it right back. Like, I feel like it's almost like a gun or like a weapon. Like, you shouldn't have this ability until you are, like, properly trained in it. Mm-hmm. If you want to get mad or you want to get angry at other people, that's one thing. But also, why don't you just take some time and go, like, wait, why do I feel so compelled to, like, scream at this person right now? Right. Do I actually believe in this, or am I taking their attack of this?
And that's what I had to do, because I was like, it was making me livid.
Because you're not wrong, because it is your perspective. Right. But they're also technically not wrong either. Right. But in this sense of, like, as far as, like, how you view how people should be is this way, and how this person views people should be is they don't even have, like, they think this is based on something completely different.
Right.
They
well,
haven't
and the
done
thing,
the work.
And so I did the work of like, why am I so angry
Why
at this?
do I feel this way?
And it was like the I guess the realization of you don't respect me or you don't know me. Like, and I thought we were family.
Yeah, and either
Like,
way,
and
fuck
you know,
it,
and
then.
you do, and I guess that was it. Was like, you know me though. You know I'm not a bad person
libtard or whatever
like,
the fuck
yeah,
you're
like
saying,
whatever
you know?
whatever it was, and it was like you didn't even consider, you didn't even give me the benefit of the doubt to be like, I know Dominique, she's she's a good person, or what, like whatever. Why don't I give her the opportunity? Let me just listen to what she has to say. It was like no consideration. It was just automatically, I'm wrong, and here's why I'm wrong.
Right.
And it was like, wait,
it was
no.
so quick and it
Right.
was so fast that it was. So that was my problem with the Cody, with the Gary thing, and with the fucking Holly thing. Both of those situations were both situations where you had this like holstered. You had this ready to go.
Yeah.
That this is how you view me.
Right.
So if that was how you thought already, what are you doing hanging out with me in the first place? And I think that's a lesson that people can take from this. If you don't approve of someone or how they conduct themselves, or you don't like them, you do not have to like them.
Right.
You don't. But don't pretend like you like them and then you fat Chloe. You don't have to pretend to like them.
Yeah.
You're an adult.
But I just, like,
You know
you
what I
have a relationship with somebody, you would just think, I get it if you don't want to listen to a stranger. You don't know them from Adam. You don't know anything about them,
No,
so
you're
you
saying
can
Adam.
make your own assumptions of whatever.
Right.
But when it's somebody that you know and you're not considerate of them and their opinion, and go, Dominique, why do you feel that way?
Like
Like, that's an interesting thing. But in that self-reflection, I didn't ask that question either.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped off the handle and I was like, you're wrong because of this.
Right.
And I do still feel like you're wrong, because my argument is just be considerate.
Yeah.
Just listen.
I don't know how you can argue that.
I don't know
how you can say
right. But I wasn't listening to them.
Right.
I wasn't doing that either. But it just, you grow, like you learn, you make mistakes,
Right.
and I'm going to practice what I preach, and that's it, you know?
And the thing, I think the thing that, and that's a good point, is like, that's a good way to end this, is to say, like, you have the ability to do all of the terrible things that you're thinking of, and you also have the ability to not do them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally just a 50-50 choice. And it's if anything, just take time. Just if you're going to, like, I've done it a couple times. I did it when I was going back and forth with that dipshit at Buzzsprout.
Mm-hmm.
Tom was a piece of shit, and he fucking talked to me like I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, but when I start the conversation, I say, here's the problem. I've done this.
Again, you're not being heard.
I'm not being heard. I'm not being listened to. And it's one of those things of like, and I'm
your
literally
trigger.
paying you to do it.
Yeah.
And so when I'm a customer and I don't have that kind of service, like, I've given you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of my dollars over the years. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do but to talk to, like, you're the person that's supposed to help this. You're the person that's supposed
So
to
don't
be
make me feel like I'm doing
you're
something wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on my side.
Yeah.
So like where I was having a what felt like a personal reaction or a personal interaction with another person, I definitely handled myself with composure, but it feels good to let off, but I still let off the gas quite a bit.
Yeah.
I did not insult him as much as I wanted to insult him. I did not
Yes.
say the mean things as much as I wanted to say the mean things. But I definitely picked my places. I definitely got my jabs in because I was right. I was right in that scenario because I'm not wrong. Like, there is no wrong answer here. Your customer service, I'm the customer, and I'm asking you for service. Like there's a situation where like, dude, you have to realize you're the dick here. Like, I am being a dick to you. Yup, 100%.
Yeah.
But you are earning every inch of this dick, motherfucker. Every fucking inch of it. Because you're trash. And Tom, I'm going to put this out on the service that you gave me for free. I'm not going to update my information. And this is the final dagger. You'll never hear it. You'll never hear it. You'll never know this happened, but it's still here. It happens in here. And that's the victories that I like. The victories that I get. The victories that you won't get any more of my money. Because you, sir, can eat a dick. Everyone else, though, we love you.
Is that your wish? That he eats a dick?
Yeah, I hope Tom Rossi eats a fucking dick.
But be considerate of everyone.
No, but that was definitely a situation where, like, I was taking myself out of that situation to say, like, hold on. Like, wait a minute. I asked, like, and I would, like, go back to the question. Like, I asked that question, right? Like, they just are just not, they're just ignoring my question?
Yeah.
And they just be like, have you updated the payment information? And I'm like,
it's
yep.
again.
That was the
like,
first email.
Not being heard.
Right.
Like, we're just wasting time going back and forth. If you would just read the initial email, those are all my questions.
I have taken the time. Like, I understand you deal with shitty people. And right after that, remember, like I was telling you, just right after that, I went to Wendy's and got the it was not the worst service I've ever had. No, it's not. And it wasn't even bad service necessarily. It just was so far from what I was like, man, I just want to go here and just order
it was your one day that you worked.
Yeah.
So, and you work customer service and you need to, like, you have to be on top of it. It's just so frustrating when, you know, we're held to such a standard. And then when you go out into the world and you're the customer, it's like, why can't people have the same respect
just
and like
listen
have
to
the
what
same
I'm saying to you.
Like pride in your job of like bare minimum of just listen,
Yeah.
pause, be present. I'm talking to you. I know you got a lot going on. If you can't be present with me right now, totally fine. Say, let me get back to you.
I think that it's right there. It's immediately, it's that reaction right there. It's somebody going like, hey buddy, you okay? Can you come back to us here? Like,
yeah.
We're right here. Can absolutely read like, you're being a piece of shit. Why would you talk to me like that? But it's also like, do you think that I would just not talk to you like that for no reason?
Yeah.
You were not paying attention and you were staring off while I was talking to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's if you do that, then you're like, oh yeah, maybe the way he dealt with that wasn't the best, but also like, well, I started it.
Right.
I absolutely should have been paying attention to him. I interacted with him.
Takes two to tango.
Takes two to tango. So yeah, I was absolutely at one point totally out of line with Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Not as out of line as I wanted to be or could have been, but I absolutely know that there is a situation where I'm going back and going like, hey, I asked you a question. Could you please just could you just answer the question,
right.
Please, Tom?
And that's your trigger points. It's those bare minimum things of like
literally
it's
do da boom question mark. And then like finally to the last email was me just literally going, Tom, the questions that I'm referring to are the sentences that are ending with question marks.
Answer those.
Those are the last ones. Please do not respond with anything but the answers to those questions, and we'll move on from there. Like, even still, reads like a piece of shit. I would say it dripping with sarcasm. I love it. Because you know what, Tom? You got me to this point. I didn't start here, Tom.
Yeah.
I never start here.
Yeah.
But I can get here real fucking quick. And you better believe it. So much so that I will vote with my dollar. And as long as I have a dollar, I will vote with it. That's how I've been voting this whole time. But for anybody that hasn't been voting with their dollar, you should actually also go out and regular vote too, right?
Yeah. I don't care. I do kind of care who you vote for. But I'm not going to dictate that. You do you, boo. But please go vote.
Yeah. Honestly, I want just a regular representation. I wish it was easier than registering. I think everybody, once you're with your birth certificate should be your voter registration card.
I feel it. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
It has all the information you need. It even has my fingerprints. Or footprints, right? Do your footprints go on your birth certificate?
No, I don't think anything goes on it. That's like your...
But, like, essentially, I obviously figured it. I don't think you should have to bring your birth certificate there. But I'm saying, like,
Right.
I was born here. This is my name. Here's my address. Like, here's my ID. I don't need a
Right.
voter. Why do I need a voter registration card? Oh, because this person can't vote. Why not? If you're born here, vote here. If you're not born here, you register to vote here. How about that? Why isn't that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you're born, like, why do we make it hard on American citizens that were born here naturally to vote? Not that we should make it hard for people that aren't born here to vote. It should be,
right.
It should just each go down a level. Like, if you're already here, like, and that's every country. You're born here, you vote here. You can, like, automatically. You shouldn't have to register with us. You're already registered. Once you get, not your birth certificate, I guess, your social security card. How about that?
Yeah.
But then I guess you can't just give away your social security number all the time. I don't know. There's a way. There's got to be a fucking easier way and a better way, and that's why I kept away from it for so long. Oh, we got somebody. They make it hard to vote because they don't want certain people voting. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think it's more of a it's. I actually just heard recently. So anybody that may be watching or listening in Philadelphia or any other major cities, apparently Philadelphia only has 4. What was it again? What was the point you were bringing up the other day?
I don't know the
Or
exact
has
amount.
less voter
Places to vote than we do in Harrisburg.
right.
They need. I think I saw a post.
Polling places.
Yeah, I think I saw a post. They need over 4,000 volunteers
Right.
to be able to, like, the ratio of how many people live there to the how many places there are to vote.
Yeah.
So that's how that's why they're pushing the mail-in ballot
Also,
so
hi
much.
Brian.
Because because people aren't going to go out because we are in a pandemic.
Right.
So you still have to social distance. Those lines are going to be out of control because they're going to have to social distance. So that's why they're pushing
I
for
didn't
that,
realize
pushing for
that
volunteers.
thing. Like the thing of like I said, every year.
And there's a lot of old people that are probably scared. Like, they don't want to go out.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones like that. It's very dangerous for them if they do.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that don't think that this is real, and they're not following the proper procedures that they need to do.
I didn't think of the effect on voting it would have until the fact of like, oh yeah, you have less volunteers that are qualified to work the polling centers. You have.
And it's usually the old people that were doing the volunteering.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
because they're like, this is important. It's us young kids are like, whatever.
Yeah.
Politics.
And luckily, like I said, like I am essentially unemployed aside from whatever work I do here in the Caddick, so I can spend time in those. So I will, and I'll vote for everybody. Give me your cards. I'll go down there. I'll put in your vote for you. I think that's fair, right? I can do that.
Yeah. Well, I have a plan I set up for work. So I have a sign-up sheet. So anybody that wants to vote, that they,
and it's
I'll
November
make
4th,
sure.
right? November 4th.
November 4th. No,
Huh?
November 3rd.
Oh shit.
Yeah, don't do that. But so any managers, business owners out there, like, do what you can. Like, I'm not scheduling myself on the floor that day. I'll be like, with us, we have like floor coverage, non-floor coverage, and then I'll be there to be able to rotate. So, hey, I'll take over for you, go vote, come back, I can take over for somebody else. Like, just that's how I can support my community. And I think that's an easier way to look at it when you look at the state of things and how, like, I get overwhelmed with that of like, there's no hope for us. But if you just focus on your community, where you live, what can you do, that's the best way to approach it. You can't change the world. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
But you can make a difference where you live and just do the best that you can. And voting is one of the ways that we can really make
it's not
an
the
impact.
answer. It's just it's
something that we can do, and just be heard. That's how you be heard.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll see.
Again, the last time I voted was
Obama, right? First term?
Yes, but before that, actually, I guess the first time I ever voted, and it almost became the last time, was when I tried to vote, or when I voted for John Kerry, who I also didn't really believe in either.
But you didn't want Bush.
But it was not Bush, and honestly, I stopped voting.
And that's how this goes, and that's why you stopped voting.
But I don't like that, and I've never liked that. So I would like that. I will vote. This is my compromise. I am voting again. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to vote for who I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
But for president, I don't fucking believe in either one of them.
No, I don't either.
And I'm sure I will vote for the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
But I really have a weird I don't know what it is. It's not even pride. It's just thing of I don't want it to be like that, but I understand that this is, like you said,
this is reality.
The first step.
Right.
No, it's not reality. This is everything but reality. This fucking this
is the situation we're in.
It is our reality, but
right.
It is not a reality that is acceptable.
No, but this is where we're at right now.
But this is the first vote to vote, or this is the first step to vote towards hopefully voting for real actual change. So get rid of the popular vote, get rid of the fucking
electoral college. But again,
it's the community.
It's the people that are in our communities now that have the potential to be presidents. So if you want people that
fine Biden. Fine.
But this is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is 100%.
Yeah, that Brian just sent that in. That's
you need to but that's why it's so important to do your local voting, because those are the people that okay, let's vote people into local governments that aren't in this stuck in a two-party system. We need to get people in power that can.
It shakes loose into that. That's the problem. It gets to there, but then to ultimately get here, you have to be a part of these two things. Right. One of the two things. And if you vote for the third thing, you're the crazy person.
Yes.
And to me,
but that's what I mean is okay, well,
democracy
again,
is not come on everybody, we got to vote for the right person. You're saying that there's a right person. In this case, this is the same situation of yes, technically I feel like there is a right and wrong here. But to say that, I feel like that's what you've been saying every year. Not every year, every 4 years. Every 4 years, it's this, there is a right and wrong answer.
Right.
And in my opinion, Hillary Clinton was not the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have no idea what the country would be like at this point. I don't think it would be as bad, but I don't fucking know. I cannot tell the future. But I did not believe in either one of the candidates.
Right.
Now, one of them got elected, and one of them has really dropped the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do I think Joe Biden would fucking nail it as a president? I don't think so. I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden otherwise if he wasn't against Trump. I don't need any more Biden. I'm fine. He seems like an old fucking shithead. Not as big of a shithead as Trump, maybe.
Right.
But that's not what I want. I don't ever want to vote for the less shithead.
Yeah.
I don't want to vote for a lesser shithead. And
well, hopefully.
So what I'm voting for, what I'm personally voting for, is for change in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody doesn't want everything changed also, then I guess I have to go back to not voting after this, because I am looking to continue everything. I don't want to just march or hashtag about it.
Right.
I want to change. So after this vote, I would love it. What I'm voting for and what I'm hoping Joe Biden does is complete and total election reform. 100% top to bottom. I think we should be able to vote from our computers.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to vote from home whenever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And throughout the 4 years. I don't think you should have 4 years to do whatever the fuck you want. I think we should have a re-up. Just like everybody else has their fucking their yearly review. Don't you have a yearly review?
Yeah, but
you have a quarterly review, don't you?
In order for there to be...
Why not?
I think you do need some consistency. It can't be every year.
Then you better do a good job.
You can't, but like it takes so long for anything to you know what I mean? Like, and let's say you elect somebody that you really believe, like what they're saying. You're like, yes, this is the change that needs to happen. I am 100% behind this person. We have the same value, whatever. You have to give them a chance to get things done because they have to go through, they have to go through a bunch of hoops for any change to happen. So it needs to be 4 years. Like, I do think that for the president, I do think there needs to be,
nah. Nope. I think yearly reviews.
I mean, reviews, I guess, but not, I don't know.
What about first 2 years?
Change takes time. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right, because it hasn't happened over, like hundreds of years of nights? So, yeah.
There's been some change, but not...
Change only happens Change only happens when the older people die.
Yeah.
That's the only change.
Yeah.
One day, things are going to change for the better when we die. So, guess what?
Right.
It's happening. Just get there. Right. I'm fucking tired of waiting because the Electoral College, the way that the elections are set up, is dog shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking work, and it doesn't help anybody the way it is.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
and that was before pandemics. So now,
yeah.
So, and also,
but it really came to light. Like, it was before Trump got elected.
Yeah.
But that really came to light. At least for me, I was like super educated with that, with like the Electoral College and how they have prisoners are in the population, but they can't vote. So why would you add them into the equation at all?
Right. Yeah.
But you get more electoral, it's shitty.
You get so more. Shitty. Yeah. For prisoners are counted towards population, but not. But so the more prisoners that are moved to a state, they are offered more votes, the more electoral votes, right?
Yes.
So essentially, it's modern day slavery.
Yes.
Where people take prisoners from one state, move them to another state, so that they get more votes, so that state will, if they know is already leaning red, or they can take advantage of it, or if they have more
jails
Republican
are private.
They're
not. Right. They're most just federal jails. Those are obviously government, but majority of penitentiaries are privately owned.
Right.
So it's like, hey, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, so I'm going to shift things around to leverage, sway things the way that I want. And it's, again, abusing privilege and power. We have to put that shit in check.
If we've learned anything, things that can change. Anybody can be president. I would vote for anyone born in this country or not can run for president.
No, I don't care if you're born here.
If you're, I think if you have, what else? Obviously you can, careful, Klopok.
We might see the monitor.
You might knock it over. But if you, I feel like if you, the Electoral College, like I said, popular vote, bullshit, that stuff, get it away. Just popular vote. Just the popular vote.
Yeah.
How many people voted for this person?
Yeah.
I think also they should have to sing. There should be part of a singing competition, part of the presidency. What is it? What did you say, Klopok?
She's like, I don't care.
Oh, that's Chloe. It's making it. All right. Well, you could just go.
She wants us to be done.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to.
She's like, it's not even, it's more than an hour before kitty dinner time.
Yeah.
Why are you? Actually, it is getting darker sooner.
Do you think she just thinks
So I think she thinks it's 5:30.
But it's not. Chloe, it's not 5:30.
It's not. Because last night it was like 7 o'clock, and I was like, holy shit, it is dark outside.
Say hello. Over there. All right. Well, I guess she doesn't like you, Brian. I'm sorry. But we love you, buddy. And do you have anything else you want to...
No, that's it.
At Wife George, at PG Comedian for me, and we love you.
We love you. Thanks for joining us.
Bruce.